Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it, and thank you for the love and support you've shown so far. I'm so happy. It's so overwhelming because I'm so happy. Yeah. So for today's video, it's going to be all about internships, nothing else, just internships. How to get an internship, when to apply for an internship, what to do at the internship, why are internships important, what are they, all of that good stuff is going to be in this video. And yeah, I'm so happy you guys came back, and I hope you enjoy what I want to say. Just before I start this video, I am not an expert by any means. This is just me sharing my story and how I've got internships. So don't take this as I'm telling you what to do. Like, I don't want anybody like getting mad at me or whatever if things don't work out, or you know, saying I said the wrong thing. I'm simply sharing my story. Okay, let's get into the video. The first section of the video is my story. So the first place I'm going to talk about is JP Morgan. I had an internship at the age of 17 with one of the world's largest banking and finance firms. Say it with my chest because I'm proud. So at the age of 17, I was fortunate enough to end up having work experience internship with JP Morgan. I went in and out with those for a while, so I stayed in contact and I went there a lot. I've just had an internship with Saxton and Bamfield, a global recruitment search firm for the top tier of society, so your CEOs, directors. So those are the two internships I'm going to talk about in this video, side by side, just because they're two completely different environments. I got them in a completely different way. So quickly and briefly, how did I get into JP Morgan at the age of 17? I am a member, and I am now an ambassador, that's right. I am a member of the Social Mobility Foundation, which is an organization that helps talented, bright and hardworking individuals like myself get certain opportunities that might have not been available to them because of the socio-economic background that they come from. So for those of you who don't know, I am a normal working class girl from a single parent household. I live in Birmingham, but really it's Dudley, and yeah, I go to a state school. So someone like me would find it difficult to have an internship at a place like JP Morgan just because of the location, and it would cost me a lot to now go there for 2 weeks of the summer holiday and accommodate myself and find food and do all of that. It's really expensive to be in London, especially as a 17-year-old. So the SMF helped with stuff like that. Anyhow, yeah, when I was 17, they emailed me and let me know of the various opportunities that I could get involved with in the summer holiday, and I saw JP Morgan, so I applied. And I think I applied because it was more of a challenge for myself. I figured this is a very, you know, elite and top firm in the world, and I knew it was going to be hard to get in. So I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could do it, and I did it. So I applied. It was a very long application, very long, but nonetheless I persevered, and yeah, I got accepted. Then the next one that I got, which I've just done August now, I got that because I knew somebody. They mentioned that this firm was happy to take some interns for the summer, so I showed my interest, and then before you know it, I was there. So yeah, that's how I got those two internships that we're talking about for today. So you can see that those are two very different routes into getting the internships, and I suppose we should explain that. Let's get into the next part of the video. So the next part of the video is going to be describing What are internships and why are they so important? So an internship is work experience. It's just a fancy word to say work experience. So this is the way that a recruiter or a future employer can tell whether you're a suitable candidate for the firm or role that you're applying for. So an internship is their way of getting to know you prior to hiring you properly. So they want you to do internships during your summer holidays so that by the time you graduate, they can hire you and put you on a grad scheme. So that's why they're important. It makes it easier for you in the long run to get a graduate job. And also it gives you experience in certain firms and divisions, so you know what sector you want to go into. Maybe you doing a banking and finance internship will help you realize that's not the sector for you, or it will help you realize, wow, this is exactly what I want to do. Let's get into recruitment timelines. So normally how it goes is in your first year you would go and have a spring week. Now a spring week is like an insight into the firm. You just get to know what it's about, you get an overview of everything. You're not really a part of a team, but you're in that environment, you're learning what they do, they're telling you how you could end up applying for an internship. So a spring week is not an internship, it's simply an insight week into that firm. Okay, so recruiter's timeline is normally they would expect you to have done a spring week in your first year. Spring week in your first year if you're doing a 3-year course, or a spring week in your second year if you're doing a 4-year course. Your next year, which is normally your penultimate year, they would expect you to have done a summer internship in that year. So it's important for you to do that spring week because then you can get fast-tracked onto an internship. Then in your third year, the minute you graduate, they can hire you for a grad scheme. That's the internship cycle. Spring week, summer internship, get hired. So it's important to note that 30 to 70% of the grad schemes are filled by past interns. Okay, so bear that in mind. Companies really love to hire interns for grad schemes. What is the application timeline? So from the start of August until mid-September, they expect your application to be done and in, because that's when the online applications open. Mid-September to October times, they will now give you a telephone interview and just, check you out and let you know they are considering you. Then when it comes to the October-February time, that is when interviews happen and assessment centers take place. So we're now October to February. Then from February to the September of the following year, so 2018, that's when you will get hired and you will start your internship. So for the students, your internship will start in summer. It could last 2 weeks to 10 weeks or whatever the company wants to give. So the message from that story is apply now. Now is the time. I've already applied for my internship for next year. That's how quick it happens. It takes about a year for you to apply and finally start your internship. Get your internship applications in early. So what I'm saying is, the minute you finish watching this video, you better start applying. Okay, so how do you find your internships, V? How do you find them? Where do you find them? Where do you find the internships? Let me tell you. So, you need to look at your career service. They're there for a reason. Utilize them, okay? You need to look in newspaper ads, because most companies do advertise in newspapers when they're opening their applications. Use your university. They're institutions, so they have to sometimes behave like a company, and they do have relationships with other firms, etc., etc. So go on your university website, check where the relationships already exist. It will make it just that bit easier for you to get that internship. Also, check the employee's website. If you're ahead of the game and you already know exactly what internship you want and with which firm, check directly on their website. Also, utilize your career service. You all have one at your universities or schools or colleges. Use them. They're there for a reason. Utilize that service. Go on LinkedIn, type in the exact role you want and see who comes up. Then see what firms they work for. You have to be very smart about all of this. This is like a world of searching, and you won't find it, it won't come to you easily. You have to actually look and kind of take time and sit down for a couple of weeks and really plan ahead and see what comes up, okay? So, perfecting your CV. So your CV should be tailor-made for each internship you apply for. So if you're that, you have to make that employer believe you chose them for a reason and that's the only one you want to be at. So tailor-make every one of your CVs. Don't hand a law-based CV to a banking and finance firm, and don't do that vice versa. Online tests. I am going to link down below some places that will help you practice online tests, and it will show you how some of them look and what kind of things you need to know before taking them, etc, etc. So like I said before, once you are successful in the first round, you will be required to have some interviews for most firms. So just be aware of those, and I could do a video on assessment centres, online tests and interviews and kind of just guidance on that if you want to, but just be aware that you will be interviewed either via the telephone, via Skype or face-to-face, so be ready for that. Also, you will have to go to an assessment centre, especially if you're doing a summer internship. Not so much for spring weeks, but this is for summer internships. You will have to go to an assessment centre where they can check you out and see how you think in a group setting, individually, how you would react to certain things, etc, etc. It's just another way of checking that you are right for the job. Because as much as you want this experience on your CV, you have to make sure it's right for you as well as you being right for the company. So all of these things, don't look at it as barriers in your way. Look at it more as ways of just making sure you're going to be happy at your internship and that you are right for that job and that place is right for you. This part is the most important part for me. Make the most of your internship. Become a sponge, okay? Whenever I do an internship, I am a sponge, just soaking up knowledge. I'm soaking up all of the knowledge, everything people are saying to me, everything I'm hearing and seeing. I'm making notes and I'm just being a sponge, because when I go home, I want to reflect. Did I actually enjoy that internship? Would I see myself there? What did I learn? And what can I take on to my next internship? So be a sponge. Ask questions. Ask questions. Pride goes out of the window when you do an internship. Be annoying. Be annoying. Ask questions. Whenever you don't understand, ask a question. That's what I do. I'm constantly asking, what does that mean? Can you repeat that? When would I use that? What can I do with this? Can I be of any help? That's my favorite phrase. How can I be of help to you? How can you use me today and I can make your job easier for this week that I am here? Don't be a burden. That's the one thing you don't want to be, a burden, because you want to leave a good, long-lasting impression so that the next year, if you fancy going back, you can always email and they'll remember that you were a good intern. So that's my biggest piece of advice. Be a sponge and ask questions and make the most of your internship. You're lucky to have it. It's really hard to get internships in this day and age. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching my video on internships. I know I've missed out a lot and I know I probably made some errors and whatnot, but all I can do is give you the advice I can give from my own experiences. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please comment, like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll totally see you in my next video.